Welcome, loves, to another episode of my podcast that's been with me today. We're going to be talking about another issue that I see everywhere, and a lot of people that are talking about this. I don't really know if this is crazy related to like ageism, because I filmed a couple of months ago, or probably a year ago, I filmed a podcast related to ageism, that Hollywood was facing this problem, especially women were facing this problem for a long period of time. And the reason is, if you're over 30, then you can get only some roles related to being a mom or a grandma or probably something insignificant. And I guess the first breakthrough was because of Sex and the City, because again, we're going to be talking about actresses that were over 30 or even 40. For example, Kim Cattrall, she was about 40 years old when she got this role, and she thought that no one is going to give her any type of role related to something sexy and beautiful. That was the main reason why ageism was full blown, and only in, I guess, late 90s, early 2000s started shifting and changed into a little bit different direction. But at the same time, let's be real. Every single generation is appreciating being young and beautiful, and they have their favorite celebrities. Every generation have their own celebrity, and when these celebrities are not young enough, or they're not that, not even relatable, but I would say still pretty in the mind of social group, then in some ways the celebrities, they get disposed, and they're going to be a new generation of kids or a new generation of people that are going to be favoring someone younger. Because, at first it was Britney Spears, and then were so many more other singers like Dua Lipa. Right now it's Sophia Carpenter, but I'm pretty much sure that in maybe 5 years they're going to be someone new. That is okay. I mean, like, we have to discover new people in order to probably get something new and fresh to the industry, as well as new influencers. I don't really have any jealousy or any judgment toward like young people getting into the industry. I think more about people that are probably a little bit older and maybe wiser, or not relatable anymore for different kind of social group. That is the main reason why a lot of the times they get forgotten, and that's pity. Though Madonna, I mean, when she's how old? 60, 65. She's still on top of everything, and people are enjoying her music, and it doesn't really matter what age you are. So this is still a very interesting topic, that talented people, they have different, I guess, stages in their lives, where someone can be popular for a short period of time, or for like maybe 10 years, and then they go into business or go into different kind of like areas of their lives, or they prefer a little bit more sacred type of style. And we're talking about Madonna. She is on top of the game all the time with the very young generation. Probably the reason why she's still very young and appreciated is because she has a lot of different songs and a lot of collaborations with young artists. And that's how she stays relatable. But I don't really know, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about something that I see a lot over not only TikTok. I don't really want to blame TikTok right here, because social media in general, and I would say social media has nothing to do with this. It's like people that are leaving comments and leaving their nasty, I guess, comments. I roughly added to the list a couple of celebrities. They did actually change their facial expression, or they went through plastic surgeries, and we actually know them. One of the latest, I guess, scandal or gossip was about Selena Gomez in her latest video, where she was honestly unrecognizable. I do remember Selena Gomez with round face, and now she has a little bit different kind of shape. Then Miley Cyrus has similar shape right now. Ariana Grande, I mean, she has changed quite a bit, as well as Kate Beckinsale. A lot of people were saying that she doesn't look like herself, though. I mean, Kate Beckinsale, she got popular when she was almost 30, if I'm not mistaken, like 30 years old, and she looked really good. And every single time people accused her in doing a lot of surgeries and a lot of things to her face, honestly, I do believe that Kate Beckinsale didn't do a lot to her face up until probably like 50 years old, only when she's looking now the way she looks, because it's too probably young. But at the same time, who are we to judge her? And every single time, every single influencer, or maybe even a journalist, they had the audacity to ask this type of questions. Same thing as probably like Sydney Sweeney, when she got asked some question about, I don't know, the scandal that happened with the Dean commercial, and she's like, when I'm ready to talk, I'm ready to talk. I don't want to take sides of any celebrity or anyone else, but sometimes a lot of journalists, they take their questions too far, and I don't really think the way they phrase their questions is acceptable sometimes, especially if we're talking like, I'm going to give you an opportunity to excuse yourself, or I'm going to give you an opportunity to talk to the audience and apologize, or something like this. Who are you to tell me what to do, and that I have an opportunity through your channel, do whatever you want me to do? If I think that I'm wrong, I'm in the wrong, or maybe I am in the wrong, who told you that? I want to use your platform, and I want you to be the witness of this talk. Probably I'm going to use my platform and make a speech where I want to include different points, so it's not going to be off guard and that I'm not going to be able to talk to my audience the way I want to do this or the way you stage it for me. The same thing happened with Kate Beckinsale a lot of the times, and not only her, but a lot of, let me tell you guys, a lot of women, especially in Hollywood, they go through this weird, I guess, stage where a lot of journalists that they ask about like plastic surgeries. Have you gone through plastic surgeries? What have you done to your face? You look unrecognizable. Would you like to leave a comment about that? And I'm like, why do you really care? And the reason why is us, guys. Unfortunately, most of the times, fans and maybe I'm in the wrong sometimes as well. Maybe I can judge someone by looking at this person like, what have you done to your face? What have you done to yourself? But at the same time, you would look at the same celebrity and say, but you know what? You look old. You have so much money, but you look old. You have to do something with your face. And the other day, we see this person with a new face, let's say, going through plastic surgery. And then people are like, what have you done with your face? It looks weird and like you have to be natural. This is the way people actually make no sense. Or at least I can assume only that people who are writing the comments like, you have a lot of money, you should do something with your face, they're probably not leaving any comments when these celebrities going through plastic surgeries. And other half of people who loves natural beauty, they would say, what have you done to your face? It's a little bit different. It's about the way sometimes I hear a lot of influencers saying like, oh, this person can't live a normal life because he's going through constant criticism from fans saying like, at first you're ugly because you're old, and then you have done to your face something. It's not really good to use plastic surgery. I think sometimes there are different type of people in those comments, and there are definitely going to be people who are not satisfied with your current state. Someone would say that you need a little bit of filler, you need a little bit of Botox, but unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, this is a way of life. We can't stop aging. We do try to do this with Botox, and we do look better with Botox, I guess. But sometimes, when you use it too much and too often, your skin is unfortunately changing, especially when you're dissolving fillers. Your skin looks like it's been through a rough period of time. And especially I see a lot of people that are going through fillers and of course a lot of Botox, and they have in their face, the sags, kind of sags. And it's super obvious. Same happened with Kylie Jenner, and she once went public and she had those sags under her eyes or really close to the nose, and a lot of people, they jumped into their TikTok and they were like, oh, she had a really bad filler and this and that. Though unfortunately, I don't understand sometimes the tendency to start doing this procedures as young as possible. So like for a 15 or 16-year-old to start with any type of Botox is crazy in my opinion, and especially a lot of the masks, a lot of the cleansing oils. No, I don't really have anything about cleansing oils and soaps in general if they're really gentle, and of course you have to clean your face. Though when I was a 16-year-old, I used warm water and then I went to bed, and that was it for me. I brushed my teeth, I washed my face with water, and that is it. And right now in the morning, I do the same routine. I actually wake up, I wash my face with water, brush my teeth, and that's it for me. I would probably get on some sun cream in a couple of hours if I go out, but overall, I don't really apply any sun cream when I'm not out or when I'm not planning on going anywhere. Though if I feel super dry, I can actually use a moisturizer, but it's super, super rare. Let's talk straightforward. Margot Robbie. She is, if I'm mistaken, 35, or at least she's around that age. And this is a new film that is coming in 2026, and probably you all know this film that's called Wuthering Heights. And this is a classic, though I have never read this classic. It's just not, it was never in my program. I'm from Russia, and it wasn't just in a classical reading program for me. I read Frankenstein, but never Wuthering Heights. So then I saw a lot of people were saying the teenager was described in the book, and that is the main reason why people hated the way that Margot Robbie is going to be featured in this new film, because she's like 35, and especially the leading actor, I don't remember his name, from Euphoria, and right now he acted in Frankenstein. He is around 30 if I'm not mistaken, or maybe like 26, something like this. And people are like, oh, I hate this because it's inaccurate. And let me tell you guys that right now films are not about accuracy. Either you like it or not, especially a lot of historical films, unfortunately, they can't feature people with different skin tones and skin colors. Historically, it's inaccurate to, feature a king being with black skin or yellow skin. It's like if we're talking about Europe, if we're talking about I don't know, Middle Ages Europe. That is just inaccurate. But at the same time, who really cares? We're talking about talent. We're talking about people in general. If they suit this position, if the actor can perform really good and can show the colorful palette of the character, then who really cares what is the skin tone? But when people right now saying that it's inaccurate that Margot Robbie, who's 35, acting a role of a 16-year-old, I'm like, do you understand an idea that most of the time 16-year-olds, they're not probably ready to perform in the way like with sex scenes, and sometimes it's illegal probably to have super like open scenes and sexually inappropriate scenes with 16-year-olds. That is the main reason why you can't just get them there. But I understand if you're asking for like someone who's 18 or 21 at least and then film it. But Margot Robbie, she is a great actress. I have nothing against her. That is the main reason why a lot of the times it's just so weird. You're saying, you know what? We're hating everyone who's not open to like ageism, who's not open to racism, who's not open to nationalism and so on and so forth. But at the same time, people are criticizing the choice of actors based on their age. This is ageism. Then sometimes actors, they're criticized for their race based on historical inaccuracy. Though that is a little bit different kind of story. Most of the films that we see right now in Hollywood, they're not historically accurate. They are art. So the art of it all doesn't have to be historically accurate. It has to be just art. It has to be beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. When you want everything to be according to the book, it limits the imagination of, I don't know, a director or a writer of this film. It's weird. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't really like when there's so much more added to the story than it is, but I guess some slight shifts to see or to show the relevance to the 21st century, they're inevitable, and that is a necessity. I actually watched the Frankenstein with my husband, with Guillermo del Toro, and I really loved it. It was very beautiful. I know that it's inaccurate because basically it was more about Frankenstein and his wife. And then it's just a little bit kind of a different story because in his interpretation, Frankenstein didn't actually get a chance to have his wife. She wasn't created or made for him. But at the same time, it was very beautiful. I loved the costumes. I loved the visual of the movie. The music was very nice. I didn't get anything like off feeling. You know, I really love Frankenstein. I think this is one of like the best pictures of 2025. And I guess not only 2025, but in a long period of time, I just can't find a really nice film to watch. That is the problem. Maybe you can recommend something like that. I really love when it's a little bit of history implemented into the film, when it doesn't have to be 100% accurate, but at the same time, I just miss a lot of the films where they're like Seven, or with Johnny Depp and like the Headless Horseman. I don't remember, but that's something like this. So basically, why do I actually want to bring this up? I think it's important to mention that we can make a choice. We can say a lot of nasty things, leave a lot of different comments that will probably affect not only celebrities but other people, or we can shut up and keep it to ourselves, or at least just talk about that with your friends or family members. It doesn't have to be out there public sometimes. It's just like a lot of the times when people, I do like when it's healthy criticism. I think it's really, really good, healthy criticism. But to say something nasty and expect that people should probably, I don't know, change because you are nasty, or a lot of times TikTokers, they will take a lead and they will literally trash a lot of celebrities and they will trash a lot of people. Do you remember, by the way, in TikTok, there was a viral video with a girl. She was, I don't remember her age, but she asked the audience, like, what do you think? How old am I? And people were nasty. They said like, oh, you're probably 40. Like, they weren't probably nasty. Most of them, they weren't. She asked the question and people answered. And then she's like, I'm not 40. I'm like barely 30. But let me do a little bit different hairstyle. Let me just real quick change. And now people were like brutal. They said like, now you look like you're 50. So this is a very, very scary path. I want to ask people how much how old do they think I am? And I don't really need their opinion. I don't really care, because I got a different range of comments from people saying, oh, you're ugly, or you're beautiful, oh, you're sexy, or you're like the worst, like the makeup is very bad, it's smudged out, it's ugly and whatsoever. I mean, like, I do actually I even got proposals of marriage. I got a lot of perverts actually telling me something like, let's have a sexy chat or something like this. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, first and foremost, this is not the way to talk to me. I'm like, not a toy. Second of all, I have a husband and I'm not interested in any of it. And this people, like one person in particular, was pushing further and saying like, we're not going to say to your husband anything. Let's still just have some sexy talk or whatever. And I blocked this person. And most of the time I'm like, I understand that there are going to be a lot of freaks out there, but still, it's really painful. It's still painful. And a lot of the times celebrities, they would react because they do actually read these comments and they know what people are talking about. And that is the main reason why we see these incubators, like not even incubators, but a lot of the plastic surgeries, they're alike and the same. Like Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez, their face looks very similar. I mean, face shape. And this new trend with brows, painting them white. I mean, if someone told me that my gray brow, I mean, I actually quite obviously do my brow makeup, but when I take it off, I don't really have my brow. It's gray. It's more than half gray. And if someone told me that it's going to be a new trend to have no brows, I'm like, oh, where have I been? But do I feel comfortable not wearing any brow mascara or like not having brows? I don't really feel comfortable if I have my full makeup on. And for me, it doesn't really matter if it's trend. For me, it doesn't really matter if people hate it. If I don't like it myself, I'm not going to do this. The problem is that when millions of people are shaming you for not having this new trend on your brows, you start reconsidering. It's a lot of huge pressure. It's social pressure in general. And that is the main reason why we have to be very, very cautious about things we say and things we post. I know that sometimes I criticize people as well on my podcast, but it's just not the way like to be brutally mean to people. It's about honesty. And if someone is dishonest and trying to manipulate people into thinking some other things, maybe I can be brutal and I can be harsh and honest, but at the same time, I try not to be mean in a way like just to be mean. And there's still a lot of people out there being mean for the sake of being mean. But I don't know. I think it's like a huge problem because it's not gonna change, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna change ever. There's still gonna be people hating being old or aging, and there's still gonna be people following some tendencies, trying to be younger than they are. And I mean, yeah, this is a way of life. I mean, we can address this issue, but I don't really think it's gonna change because a lot of the times we can see a lot of hypocrisy, especially in Hollywood, when people are saying like, let's hate on, I don't know, Sleeping Beauty or Snow White altogether because she cleaned for dwarves when they came back from mining, but so she has to relax and sleep when they come from mining and then do this for her. I mean, what is so wrong with helping each other? I mean, it's the real hypocrisy. Helping dwarfs after a long and hard day in mines, and they come in an ugly, like really dirty house, and what should you do instead? Sit there and wait for them to cook for you? I mean, yeah, with this attitude, we're doomed, honestly. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments what do you think, guys. I love you all so much, and I'm going to see you in my next podcast. That's fine with me. Love you all. Bye-bye.